Welcome, everyone. Dr. Emmett Emery Sr. You Better Stand Your Watch Behavioral Leadership Podcast. Today I want to talk to you about personal reset. Personal reset is a very important part of our lives, and I think a lot of time we neglect that part to cater to others and to other things. Wouldn't it be great if we had our very own personal reset button? Life can often feel like a never-ending cycle of responsibility and expectation. It's easy to be caught up in demands of work, relationships, family, spiritual dysfunctions, and personal goals, leaving little time for ourselves. That is where the concept of personal resetting comes in. Taking the time to reset yourself is crucial for maintaining a healthy life balance and overall well-being. Now, there's certain areas I want to touch in this podcast that pertains to personal reset. And the first thing I want to cover is mental health. It is the cornerstone of overall well-being. It influences everything from our relationships and careers to our ability to cope with life challenges. A healthy mind is not merely the absence of illness. It is a state of emotional, psychological, and social well-being. There are several things you can do to nurture your mental health. Mindfulness activities is the first thing you can do. These practices anchor you in the present moment, reduces stress and anxiety. Regular mindfulness can enforce and enhance focus, clarity, and emotional regulation. Continuous learning, stimulating your mind through reading, learning new skills, or exploring different perspectives helps your brain and keeps your brain active and engaged. Seeking support. Building a strong support network is crucial at home, work, and beyond. Share your feelings with trusted friends, family, or a mental health professional. Practice regular self-care. Make time for self-care activities you enjoy, whether it is spending time in nature, pursuing hobbies, or simply relaxing. Set boundaries. Establishing healthy boundaries helps protect your mental space. It is okay to say no to anything that does not align with your life priorities. It's good to say no to wrong things so you have time to say yes to the right things. Disconnect. Make a conscious effort to spend time offline, off social media, and away from mainstream media. This gives you a break from the constant barrage of information that comes at us each day. Put your phone down for an hour before bedtime as part of the nighttime routine. It's very imperative that we take a little time with the mental health. You might even be able to recognize some of the symptoms: anxiety, stress, depression. Then you know it's time to take a step back and focus on the mental health part of the personal reset. The next thing I want to talk about with personal reset is the physical health. A strong and healthy body is the foundation for a vibrant life. When you focus on your physical health, you experience increased energy, improved mood, and a greater capacity to handle life challenges. Why? Because you feel well. There are several things you can do to nourish your body. Move your body is the first thing. Engage in activities you enjoy, whether it is dancing, biking, or swimming. Aim for a balance of cardiovascular exercise, strength training, and flexibility each week. Get you a membership at a health club. Get weights or cardiovascular equipment and put in your basement or put in a room in your house. Find time to get away and do that personal reset. Fuel your body. Eat whole, unprocessed foods often. That nourishes your body. Practice mindful eating. Switch out those unhealthy snacks you crave for something healthier that you still enjoy. That's going to be a tough part, I know, because I do the other part of physical health. We're going to get into the other part, plus the first part I just talked about. But it's that fuel your body that I struggle with. It's tough to get away from those snacks. Tough to get away from some of them sweets. And my wife sees it and then she takes it and throws it away. So it's more of a challenge with me on the physical health part of trying to hide stuff from my wife than not eat it at all. Rest and recovery is the next one. Get accurate sleep to recharge your body and mind. Create a relaxing bedtime routine and make time for simple relaxation each day. So no one can run at full capacity at all times. You're going to get burnt out, you're going to get tired, and you're going to be down for a while. I mean, you get so tired that sometimes you just sleep. And you end up sleeping for 5, 6, sometimes 10 hours. And it's tough to reset and recover and do the reset and recovery part. Recharging your body, because some of the activities that we see on TV doesn't start to 10:30 at night. And that takes us to 12, 1 o'clock in the morning. We probably got to be up at 5 or 6 the next day. So that's a tough part right there in recharging in a personal reset for the reset and recovery. Next is stay hydrated. Drinking plenty of water is essential for optimal bodily function. I said drinking plenty of water, not plenty of alcohol. How you gonna mix that? You're not gonna dilute your alcohol, so you got to moderate your alcohol to make sure you drink more water than alcohol. They're gonna cause some problems in some of the households when they look at this podcast. Preventive care. Regular checkups and screenings help maintain your health and catch potential issues early on. Do not ignore those telltale signs because you're too busy. You're never too busy for your health. Find time for doctor's appointment. Find times for physical exams. Don't just say I'm working too hard, too busy. And when you do find time to schedule, don't cancel. Your work is always going to be there, and that work going to be there even if you're not there. Someone else might just be in charge doing what you're doing. So you got to think about me, as I talked about earlier. Get involved in that personal reset. Next is family and relationships. Strong personnel and family relationship provide a vital support system, fostering love, belonging, and a sense of security. Making time for family activities, social catch-ups with friends, and open communication is essential for building and maintaining those precious connections. There are several ways to strengthen relationships. Open communication. Create a safe space for honest and open dialogue. Active listening is key to understanding and connecting with family members. I said, honest and open dialogue. Don't just have open communication just to be talking, just so you have communication with someone and keep their interest. No, have honest and healthy dialogue. Because if it's not honest and healthy, it's going to end up taking you back to mental health. Because you're going to have a lot of distractions and frustration and stress and depression because of the dishonesty that you put within your communication. Next, quality time. Dedicate intentional time to share experiences, creating lasting memories and strengthening bonds. That's that quality time. I mean, one thing my wife does with quality time, she loves taking pictures. I mean, she's the second person I know love taking pictures. My older sister named Priscilla, she loved taking pictures. I mean, the family call her the picture lady because she takes so many pictures. But my wife put it in perspective on why she take all the pictures. She said the pictures of memories. And I never thought of it in that perspective. So quality time, so you can build up and take your snap memories that last a long time, a lifetime. Express gratitude. Regularly acknowledge and appreciate the positive contribution of friends, co-workers, and family members. This is tough for some people. And then a lot of people express gratitude in a private setting than in a personal setting, open setting. What I mean by that? For example, I have an LB, Lion Brothers from the fraternity Kappa Alpha Psi. That Lion Brothers mean that we was on the same line when we passed over. We call him number 6, named Manuel Gale. He takes upon himself, because we have so many activities that we're involved in, so many community services we're involved with, and also meeting on quarterly. He takes upon himself to schedule the time, schedule the dates to the precise minute. He communicates with everyone, get everyone's input, and then he get feedback. He goes search for places to meet quarterly, and he makes sure that we all are there. In other words, he takes care of us. He did it when we was online, and he still does it. Number 6 is wants you to know that we love you, even though we don't say it, as a group, it was 17 of us on that line. He takes care of 17 people. We love you, appreciate you, and keep doing what you're doing, my brother. Conflict resolution. Address conflicts with empathy and understanding, focusing on finding solutions rather than assigning blame. Sometimes it's easier to blame someone rather than try to find a solution for a mistake that we did or something we know we did that was incorrect or was wrong, or owning up to the fact that we did it. We'll put it on someone else. We'll blame someone else. So we'll find a way to make sure that it doesn't fall up on us. Sometimes it's ego that causes us to do that. Sometimes it's just stupidity. Set boundaries. Make sure relationship involve give and take, not give, or not take. Make sure involve give and take. Avoid toxic and one-sided relationship that drain you. That's difficult for some people because some men, it was told when I was young, I don't know if they still say this or not, that a man will marry a woman that emulates his mother. So if you have a bad mother, you marry a bad woman. If you have a good mother, you marry a good woman. That's why I said it's difficult to avoid, some people to avoid that toxic and one-sided relationship that drains them. Even though they are family, boundaries are important to protect yourself. We have them family members we take away, we try to stay away from. Well, and you always hear about it coming around the holiday season. Well, not just the holiday season, you have them toxic family members. I mean, you can just pop in, visit to one of your relatives, and then that family member show up out of nowhere. And the first thing they ask you, they don't say how you doing, they don't say how things going. They ask you, can I borrow some money from you? I don't know if that's historical data that goes way back or what, but I know it's very prevalent in the minority communities, especially in the African-American community. They know good and well you ain't got that much money, but they still want to get what you got. That's a different podcast. Create family traditions. Establishing family rituals and traditions strengthens your sense of belonging and shared identity. This is difficult to do when you have a family that you did not connect. In other words, I grew up in a family where my mother really didn't connect everyone together. It was like the separate style of communication, and you communicated when you felt like you communicated with the other siblings. Then you have those families that everything's done with the siblings. When they're young. So they still have that mentality, that understanding when they get older, and they want to make sure it's all about family. And then you got what my wife have with the Hispanic family, with everything's done integrated with the family. And it's hard to separate things from doing things within the family. But it's tough to do a traditional have a traditional plan or set traditional standards when it's a blended family of a certain age. Young kids, yeah, because you can get them done. At an older age, it could be done. I'm not saying it can't be done, but it takes a lot of pleasing and following up with the kids because they all have things that they are doing to better themselves in life. So it's tough to have traditions at the time. Then depending on the years, at the age that you end up integrating with that other person, you might have only, 20, 30 years left. Might have married late, and then it takes time to build those traditions up. But building those family traditions is very important for that personal reset. Next is your financial well-being. This is a tough one. Financial is what I consider is the root of all evil. I mean, it breaks up families. It breaks up sibling relationships. It breaks up marriages. It breaks up friendship. It's the big capital letters root of all evils. A lack of financial stability is one of the biggest causes of stress for individuals and families. When you have balanced finances, it provides a sense of security, reduces stress, and empowers you to pursue your goals and dreams. Also bring people out the woodwork to constantly beg for money to try to borrow. Sorry, that's a different podcast. By taking control of your finances, you are investing in a brighter future. There are several things you can do to build a strong financial foundation. Create a budget. Understand your income and expenses to make informed financial decisions. Track your spendings and identify areas where you can cut back or save. This is tough when you have a lot of credit cards. because them credit cards keep you in debt because of the finance charges they have on them. It's not that you can pay, for example, say you have a $3,000 limit on a credit card and you owed $2,000 on that credit card. And so you pay off $500 and then the interest rate take $200 from you. Well, it's going to take you longer to pay that card off than usual. And the interest rate, the higher the balance on the card, the higher the interest rate. So if it's $3,000 balance and you got $2,000, your interest rate versus $1,000 is going to be different. It's going to be higher. Save and invest. Build an emergency fund to cover unexpected expenses and invest for long-term financial goals. I found that to be very important in Florida, especially over the past couple months. We got hit with 2 hurricanes, and a lot of the homes in Florida were not allowed to get flood insurance. So, wow. Now you got the homes out there. You got a lot of people selling the homes. You got vehicles got damaged. Now you got to be careful on purchasing home and purchasing vehicles because there might be water damage. So it might be a little bit beneficial right now to just save and put the money away until you actually, if you're looking to buy a home or looking to buy a new car, do the research and find out if that's beneficial to do. Consider consulting a financial advisor to create a personalized investment plan. There's so many crooked people out there call themselves financial advisors. Make sure you communicate with the right people. In other words, know someone who knows someone who knows someone. That way you can go back to that first person you know. But if you just go out there on your own and try to find a financial advisor, oh my God. You got financial advisors that people know that was childhood friends that still steal money from them. Like that baseball player, Tony. He knew that personal guy from childhood, and that guy took $10 million from him. Probably more than that for gambling. So you got to be careful with that. Do your research, do your history. Manage debt wisely. Focus on paying off high interest debt, repayment plan, and stick to it. Put your plan in place on paying off the bills that you have that have the highest interest rate first. Because remember I told you the ones that highest interest rates is what's going to kill you. It's going to keep you back. So focus on the high interest rate bill first and pay more on that. Don't start paying bills on paying for the smaller ones that you have, but focus putting more towards the high interest rate bills than the regular financial bills. I'm not talking about your regular bills, your cable, your light, your gas, your mortgage, your rent. That's basic. That's going to happen. I'm talking about the credit cards, the loans, those things. Seek professional advice. A financial advisor can provide expert guidance in budgeting, investing, and retirement planning. Yes, they can, but you got to make sure that you find the right financial advisor. That's why I said make sure you communicate or know a person who knows a person who knows a person. That way, when that person that knows a person, that financial advisor end up doing something bad, then you could take it out on that person that knows a person, knows a person, knows a person. Just make sure you took care of that physical health part, and you have a condition to go around all of them. Next is personal growth. Personal growth and self-care are essential for a fun-filling life. By investing in yourself, you unlock potential, enhance your well-being, and contribute positively to the world around you. Balance in your life, your personal life, also incorporates the things we enjoy, such as hobbies and creative pursuits. There are things you can do to nurture your personal growth. I'm not talking about just having a me day and then go to the spa, or having a me day with the guys and then go to a basketball game, or go shoot pool, or just go hang out in a social gathering. I'm talking about personal growth, the things you can do to grow personally. Because it's going to come to some point in time when it's just going to have to be about you. And because if you depend on a lot of outside people or areas for your personal growth, at some point in time, they're going to fall down. You're not going to stay up. They're going to fall down, you're going to lose them. And then what you're going to have a backbone of what's going to be there for you to fall back up on? Nothing. So you have to take care of your personal growth. And your personal growth is continuous. You don't do a personal growth, say, okay, I'm going to go from high school to college, work on my bachelor, then work on my master, work on my doctorate, and then I'm done. No, your personal growth still stays there. That means even though you got a doctor, you're still doing research, you're still staying up, reading books, you're still reading magazines, you're still going to conventions, you're still going to things like that because that personal growth. That means you're constantly up to speed with that growth. And it's personal growth. I mean it about you. Explore your passions. Discover and cultivate your interests and hobbies to enrich your life, and spark creativity. Gotta be about you. What do you like? What hobbies do you like? What things you like to do? You might be with a spouse or be around your kids and you say, well, they don't like to do the things I like to do. Or they're not involved in the things I do. But have you introduced what you do to them? If you introduce what you do to them, then you find out that they do like some of the things you do. For example, I'm talking to my daughter because I'm visiting her for Thanksgiving. And I love to hike. I don't hike the way I used to because I don't do as often as I used to do it. What I pick up hiking at? I picked up hiking in the military. And then when I joined the military, 1987. We're going to leave that alone. So I loved hiking, but I got to make sure I have on the proper clothing to hike. Actually, when the hurricane, I think Helena, I went with my wife to Alabama to get away from the storm in Tampa. Her brother-in-law and her sister and the kids, we went hiking. And I didn't have the proper shoes on. And I had to be careful that I didn't sprain my ankle. We were going up through trains and rocks and through tree branches and things of that nature. When I was in the past, when I hiked, it was clear ground. Surfing, you go up the hill, still was smooth. You didn't go across a bunch of, as I call, mess. So I was talking to my daughter, because I was visiting her for Thanksgiving. And one thing, I didn't even mention hiking. One of the things she said, well, we can do hiking, because my grandkids will be there. We can do hiking. I'm sure the grandkids will be okay with the hiking. So I said, okay, depending on how many miles we go. And we're visiting her in Virginia. And Virginia around Thanksgiving time, actually Blacksburg, Virginia, around Thanksgiving time is beautiful for hiking up in so far in the mountains. Now, mind you, I am an African American. I'm a black man. I'm not going too far in them damn mountains. Why? Because they got bears, they got cougars, they got bobcats, they got snakes. I'm not doing that. That's why I said I don't like hiking through all that mess. I ain't doing the military. I got to be open where the sun is shining, and you still got to be careful because them suckers run out the trees. No, I'm sorry. I don't want my daughter to get upset for looking at this. I'm still going to go hiking, sweetheart. Set meaningful goals. Define your aspirations and create a roadmap for personal and professional development. Everything you do, you got to map out. It's good that you map it out. It's good that you have it now in today's time. You have it on electronic, and still you have it on paper. You can always go back to it on paper. If the electronics ever fade out, or you lose, the battery dies, or it doesn't come up when you want to, or you can't get Wi-Fi in the area, if you have it if you have it manually, you can always pull it out and look at it. Practice self-care. Do regular activities that nourish your mind, body, and soul, such as reading, nurture walks, hobbies, and time with loved one. I know I said you got to take that me time, but y'all got to take that me time, and sometimes the me time is shared with others, your spouse, your kids, your loved ones. Why? Because I also mentioned memories. Those are memories. So use your personal me time and build up to be shared with others. Now, there's some me time you don't share with others. Like if you're watching that football game and your spouse not rooting for the same team you are, you don't share that me time, because that me time going to be argument time. So that's a separate time right there. You don't share that me time when you eating food that you love. And you don't eat it that often. For example, if I'm eating a slice of sweet potato pie during Thanksgiving, and I only eat it every Thanksgiving, and I got the last piece, I'm not sharing that damn pie. Oh no, my wife come on, she's gonna take it anyway, so I can't say I'm not gonna share it. Step outside your comfort zone. Embrace new challenges and experiences to expand your horizon and learn from growth opportunities. I said step outside your comfort zone. Some people have that space and they refuse to let people in. And the refusal to let people in, it might be for a significant reason. They probably let people in the past and then they got hurt, they got wounded. Or they probably let people in the past and they got betrayed. So they're hesitant about letting someone into that comfort zone. But you don't have to let them all the way in. You can let them within the 10 feet rule. You can let them within 10 feet, or you can let them within 10 inches, or however you want to do. You got to let them all the way in. But still, sometimes you got to come outside your comfort zone. Because you might learn things outside your comfort zone that you probably won't learn if you don't let someone in. You can learn things about environment. You can learn things about history, things that you don't know that someone else knows. You might learn something about them saying something that triggers something for you to do more research. You might have to let them in sometimes to your comfort zone. Continuous learning. Cultivate a lifelong love of learning by reading, taking courses, or attending workshops. You're constantly learning. Learning never stops. I mean, you'll be learning from the day you start eating or drinking milk. You got to learn how to drink milk from either being breastfed or from a bottle, and then from there. You're constantly learning from the day you're born to the day you die. The last thing I want to talk about is spiritual reset. Spirituality provides a sense of purpose, meaning, and connection to something greater than yourself. Even if you do not practice religion, spirituality is still a very vital, important aspect in a balanced life. It can be a source of comfort, guidance, and inspiration. There are several things that can help you nurture your spiritual side. With the spirituality, I'm not going to get into religion because you can have a spiritual reset through your faith, whether you're apostolic, whether you're Christian God in Christ, whether you're Baptist, Pentecostal, whether you're Muslim, whether you believe in Buddha, whether you're Catholic. Those are things that you can do for a spiritual reset when you connect it to your religion. I'm not connecting this to religion. I'm connecting it to spirituality. One thing you can do is mindfulness and meditation. These practices can deepen your connection to your inner self and the world around you. Regular meditation can cultivate a sense of peace and clarity. Regular meditation. Got to find the time, quiet time, to meditate. Whether you meditate with candles, whether you meditate with incense, you meditate. One thing you cannot meditate with is alcohol. Don't go get a 6-pack and say I'm finna sit back and meditate. You're not gonna like the way you feel when you come out that meditation. Don't get no Jack Daniels or Hennessy, say I'm finna meditate, finna get to myself. You're not gonna like the way you feel or smell when you come out that meditation. That's not meditating. Next, prayer, fasting, practicing love, study of scriptures, and fellowship. That would connect to religion. I know some probably say it's hard to talk about spirituality and not connect it to religion, because religion is a form of spirituality. Certain aspects of religion connects to spirituality. That the true noon, the Father, Son, and the Holy Ghost, the Spirit was there from the beginning. So you can't disconnect spirit from religion. Well, I'm not trying to do that, but also know that spirituality was not even involved with religion way back then. because some of the things they did were worship God, God of water, God of rain, God of dirt, God of sand, before Christ walked the earth, before Muhammad walked the earth. So scientists go all the way back, really. We don't know what them dinosaurs worship, them cavemen worship. We don't know. But prayer, fasting, practicing love, studying of the scripture, and fellowship. These practices are grounded in scripture. That's the Bible. And also the Dead Sea Scroll. Promoting high biblical literacy, a grace-oriented approach, and practical daily application. Now, I advise you when you're dealing with spirituality, be serious about spirituality. I advise you when you're dealing with religion, be serious about religion. You need to be serious about prayer. You need to be serious about fasting. You need to be serious about knowing scripture, being involved with biblical scriptures. You need to be serious about that. Because the individuals that are serious about it are going to tell you that you're wrong. I'm not telling individuals that are serious about it to try to force you or encourage you to believe what they believe or indulge in what they indulge in. But I'm telling you that if you're not up to speed in that area, or you're not serious in that area, that they're not going to be involved with you. Reflection and gratitude. Exploring your beliefs, values, and life experiences through journaling can offer insights into your spiritual path, and daily gratitude helps keep you focused on the positive aspects of life. Write down. As you go through that, keep a journal. They have young ladies have journals from childhood, and sometimes they keep it through adulthood. You can have a spiritual journal. You can call it a schedule. You can call it a planner, whatever you want to call it. But keep a journal. On October 7th, 1962, I found Christ. I found Muhammad. I found religion. I found spirituality. October, then you say the next day, in October of that same year, I lost Christ. I lost. No, I'm just playing. But you keep a journal of your spirituality. I kept a journal. I can go all the way back to when I felt the Spirit and felt and heard the voice to follow Him. I can go all the way back, and I believe in the spirituality. Also believe in biblical teaching and the teaching of the Dead Sea Scrolls. So my belief is in Jesus Christ. Others' beliefs in other certain areas. So I believe in the works of the prophets and apostles, when others believe in the works of others. But whatever your belief is, your spirituality is, you get you a spiritual reset. That means that whatever your belief is, whatever you're following, whatever you're engaged in, you haven't been doing it for a while. And because you haven't been doing it for a while, you're probably not engaged as you should be. So a spiritual reset is probably what you need. For that individual that said, I've stepped a foot in a church in 15 years, I don't like what they're doing, I can't stand what they're doing, they always pushing people out. Well, that was 15 years ago. You don't know what's going on in there now. It might be a little bit different. It might be the same. You don't know. So do that spiritual reset. Go back through those doors and see what it's like. It might be to the point whereas it pushes you to stay within the church, but go online. It might push you to the point where you increase your prayer life or you start a prayer life, which you had not had. It might push you to the point whereas you might start tithing and you read up on tithing and the purpose of tithing. It might push you to the point where your heart is softening / hardened to the point where you believe and accept others. Might push you to the point where you want to fellowship with other believers. See, anything can happen once you do that spiritual reset. For some, it might even, spiritual reset might even keep you in the same place that you are. You might not want to go further. But you won't know that until you do that spiritual reset. Connection with nature. Spending time in nature can foster a profound sense of awe and connection to the natural world. A simple act of walking barefoot on grass is very grounding. I mean, that feels actually that feel depend on the time of the day. If it's early in the morning dew, it feels nice and cool. And if it's in the afternoon or towards the evening, you're in a high area, it feels hot. But I'm not going to walk barefooted in Florida with all these doggone snakes down here. I mean, in Chicago, we used to go out in the park in the grass and play football and things and softball and things of that nature. I have yet to see a lot of people sit in these open areas. They got open areas, a lot of open areas, the grass cut, look nice. But I don't see anyone playing football, I don't see anyone playing softball in those areas. Why? Because they got snakes. You hear things about people playing basketball in the backyard and then the ball goes over into the bush and then they get bit by a snake. No. I'm sorry. I know I'm a big guy, but woo, I have no problem with rats. I have no problem with rats 3 foot, 6 foot long, 7 foot wide. I know that might sound like an alligator, not a snake. I mean, not a rat. But I have no problem with rats. Why? Because I grew up with rats in the city. I got no problem with them big old palmetto roaches, the big German roaches. I got no problem with that. Why? I grew up with those. I got no problem with that. I didn't grow up with snakes. I didn't grow up with raccoon. What the hell, a raccoon? I thought it was a big rat. I'm sorry, I got the rambling on there. I thank you for joining me today in this podcast. So, in all seriousness, I will leave you with this, because podcasts mean nothing if you don't get this part. Subscribe to me. Love you. Until we meet again. Goodbye.